Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I bring you another custom One Piece minifigure review. Today I have for you is Roronoa Zoro wearing his Wano outfit. Let's get into it. Okay, as you can tell, this minifigure comes in this plastic package like this one, which I'm going to carefully rip open right now. There's a lot of components with this minifigure, so I want to be super careful. I'm going to carefully drop everything out, make sure I didn't forget anything in this bag, then I'll throw away the bag. Now let's see what we get. Right off the bat, we get a black display base, which we can display the minifigure on. I'll show this later throughout the video. Then we have the green cape that goes around his neck. Here it is, this little 360 view around it. Has little patterns going around it, which is pretty nice. Then we have the minifigure itself. As you can tell, this minifigure has two different facial expressions on it. And here they are, which you could turn like this by just turning the head. Here it is. One of the expressions is this one, with him being angry or like about to attack. And here we have a normal face. Then you can see that the legs and waist move and function like normal, like other minifigures do. Next we have are the three sword scabbards. I believe I'm saying this right. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments. Each scabbard has its own unique pattern that resembles Zoro's swords in the shell. Then we have the holders or the handle for the swords. As you can tell, there's three of them that match the scabbards, which I found is pretty nice. The attention to detail is pretty amazing with this minifigure. Then we have his hair. Now speaking about attention to detail, look at all these fine details or marks they put with the hair. For me, I found this to be the best part of the minifigure is the hair. Then we have the two arms. Here they are. They match the clothing he's wearing on his body perfectly, the right color and everything. Then we have this little clear part that goes around his neck or between the body and the head, which has a little post that holds one of the swords that looks like he's holding it with his mouth. And then we have the three blades itself. You can see that each blade has its own different painting style to it that resembles the swords from the show, which I found to be pretty amazing. And then we have three of the hands. As you know, this minifigure can only hold two hands. They give you one extra just in case anything happens. Now after reviewing each component, let's start building the minifigure. I started off with the arms. They just pop into place, super simple. All I did is line them up to the hole and push down. And after that, it went in perfectly. I'm moving it up and down to see if it works properly, which it does. Then I'm going to do the other side. Here they go. Now I have them both in and they move properly and perfectly. After doing that, I take the next component, which is being the hands. I just carefully line up the hands with the holes of the arms and push in and twist. I twist because I want to see the function of these hands work perfectly. Which one hand does. Now let's go to the other one. And here we are. Perfect. Twists and everything works perfect. Next, I'm going to do is take off the head and attach the cape. For me, this one was one of the hardest parts for me to build. The cape did not want to stand on, and I had to have clumsy fingers, and the cape just kept on falling. I didn't realize that there's a little cutout in the cape for the head to hold. I thought all I had to do was push down, which I was somewhat correct, but I didn't know how. You can see me trying one more time. This time I somewhat understood what I had to do. Here it goes. I lined everything up, pushed down on the head, forgot to hold the cape, so it flew off a little bit. So I'm going to push down the cape on the head at the same time, and boom, just like a puzzle piece. Slides in perfectly. After doing that, I take the hair to install it. Before I do that, I want to install the little hair bun that goes on top of the hair. But the hair bun has these two little pegs on it, which are very skinny, and to me they look pretty fragile, so I took my time and carefully placed it onto the post and pushed down. For me, this took quite a bit of time, but sooner or later I figured it out and got it on. And here it is, pushing down on it, and there we go. Looking at it from the bottom view, make sure nothing's sticking out, and there we have it. I'm going to carefully place it on the minifigure, and there we have it. And here we have the full build or assembly of custom minifigure Roronoa Zoro with no swords. I'm going to put that on the black display base to see how everything looks. A little 360 view of it, and there we have it. And I'm curious how the other facial expression looks without any swords, so I'm going to carefully rotate the head to see how it looks. Here it is. Take the hair and put it back on. For me, without any swords, I like the other facial expression onto it. But here is the other one. I kept this one on for now because I'm going to use this face or this expression to hold the swords on. Now let's put the minifigure off to the side to build the swords. Let's bring everything in focus so we can see each component. I'm going to take one of the blades. I took this one for example. I forgot the name of these blades. My apologies, or the swords. You can see that the bottom of these swords have a little square cutout that fit onto the handle. And just match up perfectly like this and push down. I later realized in this video that I mixed up the blades on the white blade and the red one. So I apologize for that. But please bear with me in the video and don't roast me in the comments for that. But then I'm going to go to the second sword and put on that second blade and then the last one. And here it is. After installing each blade to the handle, I carefully looked at them to see if they're perfectly on securely, which they are. Then I'm going to take the scabbard and the sword and put them on carefully like this. You can see that the scabbard had a little cutout of the blade itself and it fit perfectly. For this one, I didn't look. I installed it on backwards. I didn't really look at what I was doing. I just put it on assuming I did everything right, which I didn't. I was wondering why it didn't go on, but for time's sake I just went into the other sword. And you can see me here now looking at what I'm doing. Looks like I installed on backwards. This time I fixed it and it slid in perfectly. And then I went back to the red one and realized my mistake. I put it on backwards. And here they are. Now it slides in perfectly. And you realize these little holes at the bottom of the handle, they fit with like that clear part at the side of it to look like he's holding it with his mouth. Now let's see how the minifigure looks with holding just two of the swords without the mouth component. There's one and there's two. You can hold the swords two ways. You can hold it this way or the way with the handle. I'll show that after this or right now. I'm going to remove the white sword and I'm going to take this black one and let him hold it with the handle. And there we are. I'm going to take the red one and see how it looks. And there we go. They just pop into place just like this. Now it's time to install like the clear mouth part that looks like he's holding the swords on his mouth. So I took everything apart to install it. I took this clear part and carefully placed it at like the neck part of the head and made it flush with the minifigure, like so. This part is very important. If we want to make everything look perfectly fine. And what I realized is that you can't have the head sit flush with a cape like you did before with this little clear part on. It has a little like gap in between it, which for me didn't look like a big problem. I know for some people it has. Like I showed this to my friend and he didn't like it. It bothered him a lot. He's a perfectionist. But anyways, back to the minifigure. As you can see, here it looks like with the little gap. You can take off the cape and push down to make it look or make it flush, which I'm going to show you right now. Here it is. For me, I displayed mine with the cape. I like everything all together at once. And now it's time to install the sword to this part. You can see that I pushed two down on the blade onto the scabbard and it came off with the handle. But I removed it from the scabbard and put everything back together. And here it is. You can see that the sword just slides down with the post and all I do is push down and there we go. And there we go. You can rotate like that. So we have one sword. Now let's do the other one. Looks like the same thing happened. So I have to redo the process and there we go. Now let's get the other one off. This time the whole sword came out, which is amazing. And there we go. Now let's carefully attach it to the hands. They just pop into place just like this. There's the second sword out of the three. Now let's do the other one. And there we have it. Let's properly position everything. Put the hair back on because it fell off earlier before. And there we have it. Let's display the swords properly so we could display the minifigure properly as well. And there we go. Here it is. Look at it from the sides. Now let's grab the black display base and display it on the minifigure. Here we are. And there we have it. There's a little 360 view of it. Oh, it's not the one, I guess. I thought I did it. Now let's remove everything to put all the components together. So I took all the swords out, took off the hair, the head, and the little, and I thought I took off the clear part, which is I didn't, but I took the head off to put the cape back on to see how everything looks together. And here it is. And here we go, put everything back together, starting off with the head. I tried my hardest to push down to make everything flush. This is the furthest it will go. Now let's attach the hair. Looks like I was putting on backwards. And there we go. Let's put on the scabbards on the swords to make it look like, to make everything together. All the components in one piece. No pun intended. Well, let's do the other ones. Looks like you grabbed the wrong one. Let's put it together again. There we go. Let's push it down. Perfect. Let's do the other one. And there we have it. And let's put on all the swords. This is how I display mine. I like it this way, but let me know what you guys think in the comments, how you guys display yours. And there we have it. Let's put it back on the black display base. See how it looks. And this is the full assembly of custom one-piece minifigure Roronoa Zoro in his Wano outfit. Let's do a 360 view around it. And there we have it. Thank you guys for watching.